Problem 5 is about two utility companies, Company P and Company M, and we're going to be looking at the cost of electricity. That's our Y variable here in both of these situations, the cost of the electricity, and we're comparing that to how much energy or electricity you use up. And electricity can be measured in kilowatt hours. That's just a unit of measure to talk about how much energy is used. Part A, the only question here, really asks us to find the total cost in dollars of buying 2,375 kilowatt hours from the least expensive company. And then insert an image. So our first real key job, we need to know which company is cheaper, which company has the lower unit rate, and then use that unit rate to figure out how much 2,375 kilowatt hours would actually cost from the cheaper company. We've copied the equation up there. We've also taken some of the data points from the table, copied them onto the whiteboard. So we're going to put the whiteboard in full screen as we focus on what is the unit rate for each of these two companies. We'll start with Company P. We see for Company P that 1,250 kilowatt hours would cost $150. So I'm going to go ahead and say for 1,250 kWh, will stand for our kilowatt hours, it's going to cost us a total of $150. And this one's a little bit strange. You saw I almost made a mistake too, in that the Y variable is smaller than the X variable each time. The cost of a kilowatt hour is going to be less than $1. We see as we use 1,250, it doesn't cost $1,250 or more. It actually costs less. So each kilowatt hour must be less than $1. We still always want our unit rates in terms of Y divided by X. So here we are going to put the smaller number on the top of the ratio, and that is going to lead to a decimal. So when we do $150 divided by 1,250, this is certainly okay to be using a calculator on this problem, we get an answer of 0.12. That's really telling us, remember the top is our dollars, the bottom is kilowatt hours. That's telling us every 1 kilowatt hour, the unit rate is 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So we can say 12 cents for every 1 kilowatt hour. That's the same thing as saying 0.12. And if we look over here, that might help make Company M make a little bit more sense. Their equation Y, the cost equals 0.15 times the number of kilowatt hours, X, is because for Company M, it's costing us 15 cents every 1 kilowatt hour. So as we figured out, this shows us a unit rate of 0.12. That's really meaning 12 cents every kilowatt hour. This slope, this unit rate of 0.15 meant 15 cents every kilowatt hour. So that tells us Company P is the cheaper company. We're going to focus on Company P now, and we're going to use that unit rate, 12 cents every 1 kilowatt hour. And they want to know, at the end of the day, remember if we go back to Part A, they want to know what is the cost of 2,375 kilowatt hours. So if we set up a proportional relationship here, 12 cents every 1 kilowatt hour, we want to know when, at the end of the day, are we going to be up at 2,375 kilowatt hours? So at what point, at what number of dollars will we be at 2,375? We realize all we're going to be doing for this problem is multiplying the unit rate. And if we were thinking about this as an 8th grade way instead of 7th grade way in cross multiplication, we might have already known that this equation was y equals 0.12x. And we'd see how equations are convenient because instead of setting up this whole equivalent ratio here, we could have just plugged in the 2,375 kilowatt hours for x. And we would have known right away that all we need to do is multiply to figure out the cost for this cheaper company. So when we do 2,375 times 12 cents, we get a total of $285 if we were to use 2,375 kilowatt hours. So again, your ultimate answer here is going to be $285 for Company P's 2,375 kilowatt hours. Any questions on 5, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, at this point, you're going to be continuing into Khan Academy. Thank you for the great work throughout today.